Always on the move? You can keep up to date with Ulti TV on all of our social media channels.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ultimate.
Right now, he's gonna have to bid. Just a football!
Huge layout block, unbelievable stuff on the front corner of the end zone.
Maybe just that boost of energy they needed. Huge swing pass and a great grab there from Spear.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with Ulti TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Okay. Why? Just pretend. I still have no signal, and Christina is...
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate, the best in the world.
One time I have
Become a member and
we
fund
work
our
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Push. Try again. Ich habe die Namen aufgeschrieben. Kent, Brot, Tkoning, De Koning, Snowart, Delanot, Hernard, Jacques, Lismons, Rohisar, De Vlaming, Bernard, Hazeren, Blato, Hernard.
Okay, perfect.
I wrote it in Czech pronunciation, but I think it's still better than the
Same,
Flemish one.
Good morning and welcome to the Joint Junior Ultimate Championship. First round of games is in the open division under 20. We're bringing you Austria taking on Belgium. And we are underway with Belgium starting this first point on offense. I'm Christina Obermeier, joined by the wonderful Rachel Toshnarova.
Hello, Christina. What a lovely morning out in Wrocław. No surprise that the Austrians will look to strike early. And we open up this under-20 men's game at the WFDF channel for free with an Austrian break.
This goal collected by Jakob Kratzky. And yeah, you're right, no surprise. Gotta be very objective here, but also I am from Austria, so I'm gonna be rooting for the Austrian team. On the other hand, the Belgium team have a legacy, you know? There's so many good Belgium teams that came before them in the under-20, under-17 division, so they were looking to fill that expectation.
Rise to the occasion. Indeed, if you have been surprised about the many times that we have featured a Belgian team on the stream, it is because we're trying to cover the divisions and the nations as equally as possible to give everyone at this tournament opportunity to shine on stream and have some highlights to show to friends and family and the worldwide fans, of course, after this event is over. So Belgium making an appearance several times, and here they are for a second chance for an offensive hold.
Kindekens up the line to de Klerk. Austria coming out in a poachy look. Belgium really looking for options here, doesn't find anyone and has to go dump into the middle. De Klerk doing some of the heavy lifting for this handler set early. Beautiful gainer now and puts up a deep shot. It's floating and he's all alone in the end zone. That will be a goal, the first goal for the Belgium side.
Liesmans opens up for Belgium. After that little hiccups at the start, Belgium bring this one in. We are at the 9 o'clock slot, so as always, Wrocław is welcoming us with lovely, perfect ultimate frisbee conditions. Practically zero wind on the fields, and you'll see the replay one more time. Yards, or rather meters of separation for Thibaut Liesmans. And this was the one throw that allowed for the deep continuation. A nice leading pass into space.
Liesmans says he's an offensive handler, can apparently also go deep and run a bit.
So if you are tuning in at the WFDF YouTube channel and joining us in the chat, for some of you, if it is not allowing you to participate in the chat, just make sure to hit the subscribe button. And please remember, this is a junior championship, so we try to keep the comments nice and positive.
Oh, nice catch there, recognition from Austria, and that is another goal. It was a very quick one as well. No number 20 for the Austrian side on our roster, so I don't know who it was, but made that recognition early that he would turn around and get that disc, even though he probably thought it would go a bit longer. The line shot here to Lienhardt. And then just a quick pop pass into the end zone. Ooh, nifty catch there.
So we will need to check with the Austrians who the number 21 is, because we don't have that number on our roster. Yep, that is our number 8. So we're going to change that. Jakob Mori with the assist. Out of Graz. We should look for his deep cuts, and he showed just that in the last point.
Beautiful pull into the end zone, fielded by the Belgians. Inside shot. Big gainer there for the Belgians. Kindekens Unknown number 4. Puts the disc up to de Klerk, gets it again, and a big shot comes up. Tipped, but not reeled in for the goal, and that is another big opportunity for Austria. They've really pressured the Belgians to put them into a position where it's a 50-50 shot, and this time they come up with it.
Heide was looking for the disc all over the place, couldn't really find it on time, but it didn't matter because neither could his Belgian counterpart. Liesmans this time comes out empty-handed, and Austria with a chance for a second break in this game.
Deutschbayer. It's been part of this under 17, under 20 program for Austria for quite a while, and really has taken on a higher role. And puts up the deep shot. It's a beautiful shot. Wait, and just can't quite catch it. The sun may be causing a bit of problem there. And another opportunity for Belgium. They will not use this one though, as a disc hits the turf due to an inside. That was just a bit too low. Deutschbayer again, looking for his Salzburg counterpart. And that is a goal for Prochaska.
Prochaska, what a nice Czech name. It always makes me happy to see so many Czech names on an Austrian roster. Of course, these neighboring countries having a long history of people moving back and forth, so no wonder you'll find German or Austrian sounding names in the Czech Republic and vice versa. Prochaska actually meaning a walk in Czech.
Walk. Interesting.
We also have šťastný and krátký on this Austrian squad, meaning happy or lucky and short.
All right. Some input there for you. Shout out to Jere's mother, who at the age of 53 started surfing, and she's also his biggest supporter and biggest fan and sponsor. Actually says that on his player survey. She's his biggest sponsor. Well, I'd wonder who else would sponsor him, but if you want to, if you're impressed, just give him a shout.
So 3-1, Austria currently leading over Belgium. They have managed to steal 2 breaks so far early in the game. And here are the Belgians setting up horizontally across the pitch.
Big put up into space. This time it connects with their favorite target, Liesmans, who has been there for every shot into the end zone.
That is
the offensive handler, Liesmans.
an easy hold for Belgium. You'll see that they start with a wide open undercut and a lefty backhand shot. Makes it all the way into the end zone. Very, very short points so far. Despite the turnovers, none of the points, I think, have taken much more than 3 passes. In any case, the format in the under-20 open division started out as 2 pools of 6 teams playing round robin. Top 2 teams from each pool moved to the Power Pool C. 3rd and 4th to Pool D, and 5th and 6th teams to Pool E. All previous score results from the first round were carried forward to the new pools D and E. And top 2 teams from Pool C moved to the semifinals. 3rd and 4th from Pool C and 1st and 2nd team from Pool D play a crossover game, and the winner moves to the semis as well. Where are the teams playing on the pitch? I will let you know after this point.
Angeta working in the handle set with his brother. Coyle now puts up a arcing shot into the hands of Ressel. Angeta here. His brother, Konstantin.
I believe it's his birthday today.
It is. Happy birthday, Konstantin. And as we are shouting out, the Austrians, the Belgians get a break chance, their first break chance. The Vlaming Out into space on the far side. Looks for an option, finds a reset. Not afraid to lose yards to gain a better field position. Inside shot, overshot, and that's a defense for the birthday boy.
He gets himself that present.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta work for them. But he's okay with that. Also picks up right away. And the deep shot goes up. It's floaty, but it's to no one. And
yeah, I think Bot wasn't really ready for that one as he recognized the Belgian defenders sort of baiting that shot.
yeah, Jonas Bad a bit frustrated, but we'll have to work to get it back here. Bernard into the middle, finds a big gainer. Guzman's up the line to Hazaren. Layout bid comes in, but does not come up with it. Now the Belgians are looking end zone. Beautiful inside put, just not quite in, but now they get it in. And that is a break for the Belgian side.
They steal one back off of the Austrians, making the score tied at 3.
Austria, of course, still up one break.
But they did not start this half on offense. They started off with a break. So Belgians still with work to do in this first half if they want to go back on serve. We'll see that lefty squeeze towards the sideline. Nice bit from the Austrian defense.
Late inside pass. Beautiful stuff out of the Belgians.
And it was Vliege with the assist to, I believe, Brut.
So, there's a question in the chat. Is Australia playing this tournament? Well, if you're confused with Austria and Australia, they're not the same thing. But Australia is not playing in this tournament.
I think it was just a genuine question. So we do have some more international questions.
Rachel, you would be surprised how many people are like, oh, you're from Austria, well, you have great animals, don't you? And people actually confuse them. This is a frequent thing.
In any case, so this is Austria indeed on the stream, and we have some international teams entered in this under-20 division. Australia, unfortunately, not being one of them, but we have Colombia for you, as well as New Zealand and North America, represented by the US and Canada.
The Klamba brothers working this offensive handler set for the Austrian side.
And we hear the Belgian sideline counting, as they will probably be looking to transition from this arrowhead zony look into match defense.
What a grab by Deutschbayer, keeping his fingertips around that disc. Now put in the middle, and they have transitioned to matchup defense, the Belgians. Into the middle. Jauk puts it to Klambauer. Deutschbayer. To Konstantin Klambauer. Christopher Klambauer, his brother. Working with Hamal. Beautiful inside low release. And Deutschbayer into the end zone for Christopher Angetta. Said something, it's a completely wrong name. Angetta, of course, not Klambauer. Klambauer is their coach. The coach for the Mosquitoes. And coaching the women's side at this tournament, of course, and Angetta, Christoph and Konstantin are the two handlers.
That is sometimes what happens when you're too familiar with one nation. There are just too many names to remember. In any case, some of you are maybe slightly disappointed not to be able to see or follow the Canada-US matchup that is happening at the same time in this category. But no worries. Currently, it's 4-1 for the US, so we chose a tighter game for you to enjoy. And you're sure to see some more streams of the Canadian under-20 men's teams as well as the US later on in the tournament. Like I said, we're trying to get an even spread among all divisions and all nations. In any case, if you want to follow the live scores, you just need to go to click the link in the description of the video and go to the WJUC.sport website, which features live scores. When you scroll all the way to the bottom, it says live scores. And that will give you live updates on what's happening around the other fields besides field 1, where we are witnessing a great game between Austria and Belgium. Austria currently leading 4-3.
De Klerk. Steady handler for the Belgian side. And Austria have transitioned to a matchup defense, just a starting fence here. They're really just working in this initial handler, but not really getting a big gainer here. Lismons goes back to Leclerc. Leclerc doesn't really find an option that he likes.
Great bid.
Hannah has to go bid for this. And now they're just in front of their red zone now. Put it in for the score. They seem to be pressured quite a bit in the beginning, but once they got some yards, got through, there was really nothing Austria could do to stop them.
Belgium really having to work hard in the open side to make sure that they, first of all, stay in bounds and second of all, catch the disc. We saw several really tight catches, one of them being a layout, but they finish in a strong fashion. We saw Austria, they're getting very nervous about being scored on in the open side, and the mark just trying to do a little bit of help downfield, opening up that break space for the continuation pass. We will see some nice replays from this point, because there were a few nice moments for the camera. And this was the first difficult catch, and here's the nice grab.
And getting that disc in his hands, but he's also apparently an offensive handler.
I think maybe the Belgian team is playing tricks on us, and just all of the players in the player survey saying that they're an offensive handler.
Yeah, of course they are doing this, but I don't appreciate it. The pole hitting one of the people on the other side of the field watching.
Oh no. Well, in any case, just remember that if you don't fill out your player survey and do not help us to say something nice about you on the stream, we're allowed to make up fun facts about you.
Maybe we just won't mention you at all. Austria off to the races with the Angeta brothers. Not going to get that wrong again. Christoph into the middle to Bart. They're swinging it wide with precision. And there's a shot through into the hands of the Belgian poach-off defense. Will only connect with them. That's another opportunity for the Belgians to get a break and make it even. Lismons back into the middle. Jacques. Inside shot to Hazarin. Now Fans Banner. So close there on the up the line, and that's a shot into the end zone. It's going to be low, but perfect for the Belgians. And that's a break. A second one for the Belgians. That will level us at 5-4 in favor of the Belgians.
So we're back on serve in this game. Belgium's finally force out this break that they've lost at the start of the game out of the Austrians. Here's the nice interception of that throw by the Belgian defense. Quick dump and swing. in front of the end zone, and they wind up. That's a wonderful inside-out thing. And Willems with the reception for Belgium. In any case, both of these teams finished 4th in the original pools, hence advancing to the middle power pool, so to speak, the Pool D. And unfortunately for them, they have so far suffered 2 losses each, losing to Colombia and New Zealand, who are currently topping that pool and will be moving on to the crossovers to play for the place for semis.
And now we see both teams have taken a timeout, and we will take a short break, leave you with a word of our sponsors, and we will be back in a second.
Right now, he's going to have to bid. Oh, just a football.
Huge layout block. Unbelievable stuff on the front corner of the end zone.
Maybe just that boost of energy they needed.
Huge swing pass and a great grab there from Spear.
We are back in live action here. We see Austria connecting the tip of their fingers as they're on offense once again.
Let's go, boys!
Strong handler core for Austria, working it. Angeta. Konstantin Angeta with the disc in his hand. Goes to the middle and swinging all the way to the other side of the field. Jauk up the line to Konstantin Angeta. And they're screaming for matchup defense as Austria is entering their red zone. And that's a shot for goal here. Jakob Kratzky, also of the Mosquitoes Klosterneuburg contingent, with the score for the Austrians.
So a nice clean offensive hold for Austria. Despite the startling look from the Belgians, haven't borne too many fruits so far. It was a zony look to start with. We saw a wall of 3 players sort of poaching off the downfield opportunities to prevent any set plays from the Austrians, and then eventually transitioning into match D.
Let's go!
Yeah, no, doesn't seem to be a lot of pressure on the Austrian handler set, and Belgium trying to prevent those options, but really not connecting on the defense here.
But honestly, I have to say, Christina, it is refreshing to see a little bit of tactical diversity in an under-20 men's game. Very often it is a game of run and chase. Not even too much faking, just those young men trying to prove to each other who is more athletic and who can jump higher and outrun you faster. So I really appreciate that.
As we already mentioned, both of those teams have long-standing junior programs, making them able to work on the tactical level more than on like a basic skill level. And there is a huge hand block out of Jeremia Hochmeister that will give the Austrians a red zone opportunity for a break. Inside fake goes to Deutschbayer. In the back instead. Kratzky with the hammer score.
To Haida. Kratzky unleashes. He was the one who scored the last point, and this time he is there with the assist. And a score celebration by the Austrians, well rehearsed, and they'll be very pleased with themselves, forcing another break out of Belgium just when they got back on top.
I would be happy with myself after this hammer. What a beautiful shot. And this is some highlights. We see here the hand block first, smacking the disc to the ground, and then dodged by going all the way to the other side. Looks for an option, finds an easy hammer to Haida. Beautiful.
Haida works for the Red Cross, which is a very mention-worthy occupation, I thought. He was introduced to Ultimate by his teacher and fell in love with the sport, just like everyone else on the fields of Pola Marsove. And his sporting hero is Jakub Dunzi.
Oh, Jakub Dunzi. Also a player out of Klosterneuburg. So they have been playing together for a bit, Elias Haida and Jakub Dunzi, but he moved on from Klosterneuburg, studies in Utrecht now, and is part of the Krut team that did a commendable run at Worlds, and also is just rather well-known mixed team out of Europe.
And Mr. Kratky tuning in the chat. We don't have the exact relationship status to the Kratky on the field.
I wanna say it's his dad.
Hello, Dad. Thanks for tuning in. And thank you everyone for joining us. If you want to make sure you don't miss out on any of the action that we're streaming this week, make sure to hit the subscribe button here at the WFDF YouTube channel, and then just open up another window in your browser and type in ulti.tv and subscribe to that YouTube channel as well, because that is where we're streaming the EYUC, the European Youth Ultimate Championship, which means the under-17 division. So Austria once more up in this early morning under-20 open matchup. Half is at 8. And we're playing 100-minute regulation time in the under-20 division.
Big pull out of the Austrians, will land just out of bounds in the back of the end zone. That's a nice long pull, but just doesn't manage to keep it in bounds. That will give Belgium the favorable brick position to start. An overshot and a reset. Unfortunate for the Belgium. Austria with another break opportunity here. An unforced error gives them a red zone set. Preisel up the line to Jakob Lienhardt. Back to Preisel.
The Belgian coach making it very clear that the Belgian defense should be forcing backhand, but
that is a goal for the Austrians.
That is not what a backhand force looks like on that last throw. And that is unfortunate for Belgium, because Austria find themselves within 1 of taking the half.
Breaks to it's just placed very well in terms of timing. Beautiful shot there. Jakub Kratky finding that. It's a good up the line shot. Looks for an option to put it in. And Kilian Preisel gets a goal under his belt.
I understand the intention of the Belgian mark there to sort of take away the easy follow-up pass into the end zone, but it does confuse the person guarding your reset, who then are not sure whether you're going to stay on that side, and then they should be taking away the reset, the dump pass, the pass backwards or sideways, or if you're eventually going to put on a normal force, meaning that they really need to watch out for that up line. I would think it should always be the latter, but it is so difficult to quickly switch, especially if you don't have that so well rehearsed as you are the offensive line of your team.
Better pull called by the sideline of Austria, and I agree that pull is better and fielded by the Belgians. Big fakes. goes for the layout but doesn't get it. Instead, the Belgians are keeping possession. Big shot into the end zone. Who else but Lienemans underneath, and Deutsch Bayer is
Oh, and it seems like the disc was ripped out of his hand, but that was a great defensive effort nonetheless. And what an excellent display of spirit by Deutsch Bayer. Deutsch Bayer gets there.
I gotta say, I thought as well, he had already had the disc around his hands, and Deutsch Bayer jumping a bit later, smashing it down. Considerable height difference between the two, and Deutsch Bayer knowing that, well, even if I jump, I'm gonna be just as tall as you are standing, so...
He honestly did as much as he could. It's very impressive. He tried to get in a position where he forced Liesmans to sort of stay where he was and maybe not unable to jump as high. And then when he saw that the disc was kind of approaching his hand quickly, he still jumped up and tried to rip it out of the air. But Liesmans has already secured it in his hand, and that is just incredible spirit. I think Deutsch Bayer must have felt the resistance as he was pulling on that disc. So still wonderful to see.
Other players would argue for a bit and try and get that, but Deutsch Bayer just showing impeccable spirit, knowing exactly that he is in the worst position there, but giving it his all.
So Liesmans with another score for Belgium. And Belgium hoping to get this break to stay alive in this half.
Angetta up the line. Hamel goes around with a beautiful shot to Christoph Angetta. And Belgium are matched up now. You can hear it from the chants. Low shot, too low. And Jonas Barth.
And this is so big and exciting for the Belgians. They're looking to even out the game once more and take us to potential galaxy point, but now they're stuck on options on the far sideline.
What great dump defense by Ressel. Not able to get a single shot off. And there's a stall out call.
I'm not surprised. It was a long time, but they eventually got that high release to Delanot. But it seems like the Belgians will not be contesting that, so an accepted stall out on the far sideline, and Austrians with a chance to take the half.
Klambauer again. I'm saying the wrong name. Angetta.
I'm not sure what the violation there was.
I think a disc.
A new disc.
A new disc. Attention, disc is hitting us. No, it's not, but it's coming towards us. Haida is being celebrated for catching it.
Our camera crew kindly providing a replacement for the disc.
Christoph Angetta finds his brother. And a beautiful inside shot.
That was a bit too courageous from the birthday boy. He saw the break side, but he just put way too much energy and spin on that throw, and it floats right over the head of the intended receiver.
Not quite enough love.
Not quite enough love.
I always like to call it love. You know, that the float you put on a disc. And that's a timeout for the Belgian side.
Probably a smart move, since they still have one in the first half. 2 timeouts being available for these teams per half. And the Belgians have a lot to play for. They have started this half on offense, went few breaks down, climbed their way back to serve, lost one again, and now they have a chance to make it equal and get a shot to play.
And as both teams are cooking up something to end this half, we will take a quick break and we'll be back with you in a second.
Right now, he's going to have to bid. Oh, just a football.
Huge layout block. Unbelievable stuff on the front corner of the end zone.
Maybe just that boost of energy they needed.
Huge swing pass and a great grab there from Spear.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with Ulti TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
We are back in live action after halftime. Austria in an abundance, waiting for the Belgians to be set. Looks like Belgium is coming up in a horizontal setup, and Austria is poaching around a bit, or more than just a bit. So we see Konstantin Angeta in the middle of the field rather than on his assignment. An immediate deep shot that is super low and will only hit the turf. Frustration by the Belgians, but the Austrians are happy that whatever they cooked up on defense during this timeout worked out so well. Angeta working the disc towards the sideline.
That's an unfortunate turnout for Belgium.
Also, the disc will go into the. This never was inside, and as I say, inside. It's an inside shot for the half.
Hammerl with the score. Another young man from Klosterneuburg.
I think half this team is from Klosterneuburg.
So we can't really go wrong when saying that. In any case, after a very good chance for Belgium to stay in this half, Austria come in streaking, take the half 8-6 despite starting it on defense. But I think the Belgians still have a very good shot of making up the point difference in the second half, unlike Canada, who are currently down 1-8 against the US on field number 4.
This US team really dismantling every single one of those other teams, and we're hearing happy birthday chants for Konstantin Angeta. Konstantin Angeta.
The one other under 20 open game that is sort of close is the New Zealand-Colombia matchup. Colombia currently winning 6-4 over the Kiwis. Italy and France seems to be close as well. France leading 4-3.
That must be a messy game. There have not been many points played. So with these birthday chants, we will give you and us a little break for half, and we'll be back for second half action between Austria and Belgium in the under 20 men's division with you shortly.
Bichon picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing
Can
here.
Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score for Hartlinger Elferkel. Fantastic run by Julia Love.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
and we believe that that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationships with tournament organisers, events and federations.
And you'll help us to produce live stories for Ultimate fans, and to generate new fans with our enhanced content.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts, and we want to bring you coverage on a more consistent basis. We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Ciao ragazzi, support the community.
Let's subscribe Ulti TV. There's lots of the videos, posting, everything. Check it out. They are the best one. Woo!
If you want to grow Ultimate Sports, become a member of Ulti TV.
Regardez Ulti TV. Deviens un membre d'Ulti TV et fais grandir ta communauté.
Top Ulti TV بالمه erogen kime Ultimate vendromena.
Si quieres ayudar a Ulti TV, puedes ser miembro de Ulti TV.
Everyone, follow Ulti.tv on Instagram, on YouTube. They've got everything.
Best content.
Like their pictures if you love frisbee. Just do it.
We're counting on you.
Bli medlem på Ulti TV.
Became member
of Ulti TV.
Mamma mia.
Contribue au développement d'Ultimate avec Ulti TV.
Like and subscribe, Ulti TV, the best in the world.
We want to grow Ultimate.
we want to grow Ultimate. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We have our signature style 2-camera setup,
with thousands of hours of experience,
and our crew is globally dispersed to facilitate coverage everywhere around the world. We can also scale back our broadcast with just one elevated camera, or scale up with 2 fields, 2 cameras, and 2 commentators on each.
We work with local teams and we all have the same mission, to grow the sport and bring it to new people by providing live coverage and news stories.
Become a member today on our Patreon page.
And fund our work to cover more events in the future, and to bring more stories, ideas and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with Ulti TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Welcome back to the second half of action here at field number 1, Pola Marsowe, Wrocław, being the host of the Joint Junior Ultimate Championship. We are coming you with this under-20 open matchup between Austria and Belgium. Belgium trailing by 2 after the first half, and Austria starting on offense in the second one. If you like what you see on the screen, Ulti TV being the production company for this, give us a hand and follow us around on our social media, alti.tv being our tag. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and most recently TikTok. Here is Belgium with an early chance to break.
Big shot up into the end zone, but only finds the turf after touching various bodies, both of the Austrians and the Belgians, but opportunity for Austria to hold in the second half.
So as I was saying, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, and most recently on TikTok. So feel free to become our follower, help us spread our content.
Big lefty over the top. Lefty hammer, I want to say. So Hammer and the two Angeta brothers working it between themselves, but this one just caught too early. Catch attempt too early, rather. And Belgium off to the races. Inside shot, nifty stuff out of Belgium.
De Vlaming with that one.
Benna into De Vlaming again. Banana looking for an option, finds one just in front of the end zone. Looking for an option, finds an inside, and that is a goal, a break for Belgium to start the half, and they are starting the half just the way Austria started this half, this previous one.
So that's a very critical break that Belgium got there. Staying tight in this game, 8-7 the current score. Raf de Vlaming with the Vlaming, still struggling with this Flemish pronunciation, together with the Dutch. It is the one type of language that we are still figuring out the pronunciation rules for.
Both of us.
And
we got a really good spread, the both of us together. Dog okay home. Here, dog for you. Convenience. We got a big, we covered quite a bit of ground in terms of pronunciation, the two of us, but we're pretty lost when it comes to the
Dutch or the Flemish, yeah. In any case, if you are actually fine with pronouncing Dutch or Flemish or any other nice exotic European language, or actually world language in general, and you would like to join our commentary crew to maybe put out some streams with some other in some other languages than English, just hit us up on our social media. We'll get in touch with you. We always love to welcome new crew members. So foreign languages for the commentary team, or else if you're a fan of tech and want to help us improve our equipment, just get in touch. Austria. Second chance on O in this second half.
Layout, pole collection. Deutschbayer and Kratky crossing over to this O-line. Angeta.
Wide swing all the way to the near sideline, but it's collected safely.
Austria now really calm. And a big blade over the top, just in front of the end zone. Give and go there for the Austrians, as they are not yet in the end zone, swinging it around beautifully. And that is a goal for Austria. I love their composure in terms of taking two quick options, and that if they don't connect, working it to the other side of the field and attacking from there.
And I have to say, I very much enjoyed the Belgian zony look going all the way into the last part of the field. And I was actually about to comment on it and say that they are now sort of sticking with it all the way through. And of course, at that moment, they transitioned and couldn't set the mark quickly enough or properly enough. And there was the break side throw into the end zone. So maybe that's something that the Belgians could try. Keep up with the zony look all the way. They seemed quite comfortable with it.
Transition is always something you have to learn and study quite a lot for and know your teammates mates very well for to work out properly, but they're doing a good job. Austria, on the other hand, also doing a good job at exploiting this. So this goal was by David Stasny, number 27 on this Austrian team, out of Klagenfurt, playing for the club Disc Fiction, and has already played in the under-17 open division as well. His sporting hero is Jonathan Nethercutt because of his in-game behind-the-back forehand.
Yeah, that is a cool one. 9-7 the score. Austria's still up. But Belgium's not looking like they want to give up just yet.
Kent receives that disc up the line. And that's a foot block by Haida.
But Haida immediately accepts the foul call, apologizes even. Two players shake hands.
The thing with those foot blocks is always that if you don't hit the disc but hit the hand, you can really hurt people.
And good heads up from de Klerk, where he was still trying to catch that disc. Almost had it, actually.
So Kent has the disc in his hand. De Klerk this time around and does not connect, and that's Austrians' chance for a break. Deutschbayer with the second effort grab. What a way to get that break. Wanted to get up high and get it on the first try, but just doesn't quite get it around his fingertips, but really looks for the second effort and gets there as well.
Valentin Deutschbayer really doing a chunk of work downfield for this Austrian D-line offense. He is out of Salzburg, a town or a city sort of towards the west of Austria. He first tried Ultimate at a sport camp, and after the first few sessions, he was just hooked. He says it's by far the greatest sport in the world. It's not only a competition, an athletic competition, which is always amazing, but he loves the social part of it as well. So lots of players loving the community of Ultimate Frisbee. And he just wants to say hi to his fans at home. His first coach, Sandra Zaborski, his parents, Willi and Gabi, and one of his friends, Jonas. Oh, actually, I was going to say this about him. Apparently, he once ruptured his spleen whilst playing Ultimate, even though no one else was involved in that injury. He did that to himself. And yes, his spleen is gone. He's spleenless. Surely that's useful sometimes. No.
Well, that explains a lot. So Belgium back on offense. Willems. Inside shot all the way to the other side of the field. And holsters it. Put now. And back with it. Looking for an option and finds one in the end zone. Beautiful layout to get that disc. So Belgium with a clean offensive hold. Has to go low. And but catches it safely.
Belgium's basically going that entire point through the open side. Be it under, be it an upline. They always had somebody open. And that lefty put for the assist. And all right, on that last one, they made it a highlight just because of the stream.
They threw him open rather than he was actually quite open. But that's okay, we'll take that.
Anne Hernat being one of the two Hernat brothers on this Belgium team. We have the Angeta siblings on the other side.
And then the Anna brothers, they look like twins though. The Anna brothers, the Angeta brothers are not twins. Because, well, obviously, because one of them has his birthday today and the other one doesn't. That already sums it up a little bit. And now Austria on offense once again. Christoph Angerter to Hamal and gets it up the line. What a way to work through the zone as the Austrian women are blocking our view. Inside shot to Konstantin Angerter, and that is another point for Austria on the board. Beautiful stuff.
Paul Ressler with the score this time. No surprise, he will be coming out of Klosterneuburg as well. Mosquitoes making themselves uncomfortably felt on this field.
Oh, I think they look really comfortable. What I think is really
a little less comfortable for the Belgians, I
Oh
meant.
yeah.
Sort of that annoying buzzing.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Before they stink.
I know what you mean. What I think is really interesting is that Paul Ressel says we should look for nothing special. But I remember him having some crazy highlights, including one amazing meter-high hammer catch before this weekend. So so if I'd have to describe it, look for huge plays on DNO, steady throwing, and just really good, well-timed cuts. Shout out to his sporting hero, Christoph Nuschinger, the best trainer ever, who is not only his coach at home, but also the coach of the Austrian national team here.
And as we still have some people in the chat looking for the US-Canada game, there's no streaming of that game, but don't worry. Kalakovic is on the sideline making sure that everything is recorded. But I have interesting news for you depending on which side you're cheering for. US currently leading 12-3 over Canada. So that is kind of why we decided not to stream that game. And also the reason being that these teams will be eventually featured on the stream. So back to this Belgium-Austria matchup.
Griezmann's to one of the Henao brothers. Oh, and that overshot just a bit would give Austria a break opportunity. Deutsch Bayer walking towards the disc, already calling out something. And I'm guessing he said, "Let's call a timeout. Let's take one here." Veteran move to. He knows how precious this break opportunity is for the Austrian side, and as they're cooking up something, we are also going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you in a second.
Right now, he's going to have to bid. Oh, just a football.
Huge layout block. Unbelievable stuff on the front corner of the end zone.
Maybe just that boost of energy they needed.
Huge swing pass and a great grab there from Spear.
Back off of the timeout, I have quick news for you if you still want to watch that US-Canada game. Apparently, Mike Moran's Facebook group has all the Team USA games from the sideline on his phone, so just head to Mike Moran's Facebook page if you still want to watch that unfortunate blowout for Canadians. But we are here in the last part of Austrian-Belgian matchup. I think the scoreboard not necessarily reflecting how tight this game has been. Austria just steadily adding breaks to their collection. Belgium came out strong in the second half. They
They have gotten their own breaks, yeah, for sure.
We're able to come back a little bit, but here's Austria one more time.
I do want to say the Austrians look a little more stable and are connecting with some more of those
Just definitely less unforced mistakes, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's one or two that can decide the game.
Oh, and as we say that, commentator's curse in place, an unforced error, but gives the disc back to the Belgian side. And they're off to the races now. And to put, and that disc back into Kratzky's hands. He looks for a deep option and goes there late. He's got a body underneath it, and that is just in front of the end zone. Ertl looks for someone, gets a reset off, and rewards himself with that goal. Austria get that break in. Theodor Rieger rewards him with the goal. We see a little dance from the Austrian women, coming to support their men's side as well as just watch good frisbee.
In case you were wondering why the Austrians are spreading their arms wide, it is just to signal a T in AUT, which is the Austrian cheer for the national teams.
National teams, because AUT is the short version of Austria, but also it spells out Austrian Ultimate Team.
Ooh.
Yeah, we think about that stuff.
Sneaky. I never thought of that. In any case, if you're still struggling to distinguish between Austria and Australia, that could be your pointer. AUT being the international abbreviation code for Austria, AUS being the one for Australia.
It is indeed confusing, but you know, still no kangaroos here in Austria.
Just the Alps.
So Belgium trying really hard to stay in this game. And there are some really cool plays we can see from them. But just not quite as consistent yet. As a big pull comes up that will land just in bounds. It probably would have hit the back of the end zone. It would have been a break, but the Belgians choosing to take it in the back. Good handler pressure for them, but now gets an open receiver in the middle of the field. Willems into Anna, who gets it up the line to Village.
Austria forcing backhand, and it works
lefty
out.
put from the Belgians will be just caught by the wind a little bit, and another opportunity for Austria. Deutschbayer with the hands on his hips to start this, and it's a big put into the end zone. What a layout, what a grab for the young person from Graz. And just into the end zone here for the goal. Lienhardt, what a layout.
That was pretty big for Austria. Absolutely no hesitation after that turnover. He strikes deep. No defender in vicinity. He has to lay out. He saves it. And there's Austria with another break, taking themselves within 2 of the potential, not the potential, the actual hard point cap, which is at 15 points.
Lienhardt with the amazing layout catch, and then finds Jeremia Hochmeister from Vienna, actually part of my old junior program now, for the score. That was just, that was so good. It's just a beautiful put. We see the replay here. Tries a jumping in. He might have even landed in there, but tries, comes up, waits for a second, looks for an option, and goes across the pitch to Hochmeister, and he's really happy about that one.
Who makes himself tall as he catches the disc, but he doesn't really have to because he's an impressive height of 193 centimeters.
And we saw him earlier get that hand block with this wingspan of nearly 2 meters, just smacking that disc down.
So it looks like Belgians will call a timeout as the point difference is increasing ever so slightly once more between them and their opponents. Again, thank you so much for tuning in the YouTube chat. We're at the WFDF YouTube channel for free in the under 20 category all week, streaming the World Junior Ultimate Championship games, and over at Ulti TV YouTube channel for the European Youth Ultimate Championship, or as you can also call it, the under 17 games.
Jona Hochmeister in the chat, impressive play, Hochmeister. I wonder if they're related as well.
In any case, thank you for keeping the chat encouraging and positive. We love to see that. We want to encourage the athletes to keep playing this sport and be able to go back to watch these games as they remain on demand on the respective YouTube channels. We also put out a lot of free content, little clips for you to play with. So feel free to put together highlight videos for yourself or your team. Just make sure to tag us as a collaborator.
So we can also share your great work. Another big pole out of Austria.
Now this one is hanging. That must have been good 5 seconds before that landed in the Belgian hands.
Floaty stuff, and Belgium off to the races. Big putt goes up, across the field, two players underneath it, and caught by the Belgians in stride.
Aaron Vliegen with the score. He is loving that huck. That was placed just as perfectly as that opening pull out of Austria, and just what Belgium needed. A quick offensive position and a hold so that they can really focus on D. Let's see how that played out. So
Kent.
It was the quick dish to the sideline.
And then a cross-field shot. This is a very hard shot to execute well, but it's perfectly placed in the far side, just so that no Austrian defender could come under it, but he still has enough time to run it down.
When you have that shot, it is so dangerous. And for a defender, so difficult to defend, because you're sort of anticipating that the person is running into an area where it's kind of too far, it is downwind, but when somebody can put it up, it's, and here is the Austrian. Oh no.
Did you just do that, Rachel?
Yep, we talked about it too much. The Austrian contingent, again, with eyes peeled to our commentary booth replay screen.
Shout out to Samir, coach of the Belgium team, also playing for the Gent team Gentle. Giving back to the community by coaching this under-20 contingent. Austria on offense here. Angeta to Stasny, and Stasny's gonna put it up deep. Beautiful put, and just out of bounds. Too far to the side. Maybe the wind catching that a tiny bit.
Yeah, we don't have a great perspective from the commentary booth on the far sideline. So to us, it might look like it's nicely curving in, and then we are very surprised when it ends up out of bounds. But Belgium with a chance to break after quite some time.
A well-needed one. Bismont. To Bernard, and Bernard on the near side here for Vliegen. Big put up into space, finds an Austrian defender. And he only touches it slightly, macks it out of bounds, making sure nobody can get to it. And Angeta with the disc in his hands moves away that sign, but goes middle around to Bart. Bart looking for an option and goes for the flick blade. Huge bid by the Austrian, but cannot quite collect it. That is a very daring shot, and he was really close to it, wasn't he?
Just out of reach, though. And this is if you're a Belgian fan, you really want this one to go in. They've had a chance, lost it close to their own end zone. I think if they want to stay in this game, this might be one of their last chances.
It's not over till it's over. Also, Austria has to score to win. And right now, Belgium have gotten their second break chance. So, no, it's not. It's really not over. They really have all the chances, but not if the tall figure of Maury says anything. But again, throwing into a Belgian defender, and this is getting a messy point. Delanotte. Far side. Into the middle to Valmink. Find Willems, and Willems gonna put up a deep shot. Two bodies underneath it, both misreading it. The Austrian defender jumping early, putting pressure on the Belgian to go with him. And Austria have to work down the whole field, but before they do that, they use their second timeout in this half, knowing that this point could change it all. And as they're taking a breather,
we're going to quickly update you on the other scores in the under-20 open division. USA have just won over Canada, scoring 15 points against Canada 5. New Zealand is still trying to climb up their way from being behind on Colombia. Colombia currently winning 12-7. The closest game so far in this division is Italy and France, being played out on field number 2. So right on our left-hand side, Italy taking half 8-6 over the French. And finally, Austria, Belgium is the game that we're streaming right now. We are 13 Austria, 9 Belgium.
We'll see here on the stream, Italy just got another point in, which makes it 9-6 for the Italians. Both of these teams have been streamed, and we know both of them really want to go to that final. They're still in. They still got a chance to do so. And we will...
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, UltiTV, the best in the world.
Become a member
and fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
We are back in live action here. Austria set up in a horizontal stack. Cooked up a set play here. Disc with Jauk. And Jauk is going to put it up. A beautiful arcing backhand into the end zone for Hamal. And that is a score for Austria.
And that went through the break side, I believe. So no defender was ever going to have a bid on that if the timing was right. So I think this is a very difficult position for Belgium. See, it goes through the break side. Maybe I was wrong. Not sure what that force was. It didn't look clear enough to me. But nonetheless, Austria come down with it.
I think Hamel just made a very impressive cut that left his defender in the dust.
Maybe he took something out of the toolbox of his sporting hero, that's Jimmy Mickle.
Oh.
And he thinks he should play like him. And this was an impressive enough of a deep cut to look like one out of Jimmy's playbook.
Mimi Jiggle. Very well-known person in the Frisbee community, maybe the most well-known person.
So here is the Austrian sideline starting the engine for the potential last pull out of the Austrians. If they can get a break here, we can call it a game.
Well, it will be the last pull out of the Austrians, because even if they don't score this, everything else will be them starting on offense.
You're right, Christina. Belgians trying to stay alive.
Oh, what a great collection, but has to go to the ground to really reel that in. And puts up a big shot to Belgian players underneath, and that's a goal for Belgium.
Ravenpot makes sure that this game ain't over just yet for them. They add another one on the scoreboard, and they're finally entering the double digits. 10 Belgium, 14 Austria, second game point.
Prochaska alone with 2 matchups on offense. Probably not what they intended, but just a beautiful put by the Belgians. Perfectly weighted into the end zone.
They were just taking Prochaska for a walk, because that's what it means in Czech.
I can't argue with that. Austrian women supporting their male counterparts.
I'm surprised not to see more Belgian fans at this game. There must be another Belgian team playing at the same time.
The mixed team.
No, yeah, actually the under-17 mixed team, you're right. They're currently down 7-9 to Italy, so that will be a tight matchup for them as well. But normally we have a full Belgian sideline. That is actually, I think, the young under-17 Belgian ladies being the reason we had to move our screen to the side of our tent so that we're not constantly obstacled in our view by kids with their eyes peeled to the screen, preferring to watch the game on the telly rather than right behind them live. We've been making jokes about this all week long, of course, ourselves being just as guilty.
Guilty of as we are constantly staring into a stream. And the disc will be smacked on but pushed back to around the brick mark. Stasny with the disc in his hand, looking for the big shot, going for the around instead. Mori holsters the big gun. And too high for the Austrian receiver, and that's a quick dish for Belgium, just in front of the end zone now. And are looking for an option. Fakes away so many people, and now gets into the end zone, but there is a stall out call. An uncontested stall out call.
The spirit of the Belgians just being so great in this game, but the Austrians as well, actually. We've seen several interesting calls that normally in the under-20 men's division I would expect to look very different, but so far great spirit.
Big put in for Hamel, but this is always going to go out of bounds. The lefty backhand just floating into the tent. And now Belgium have to work it down the whole field.
I think we're seeing another horizontal setup out of Belgium. Delanot strikes deep immediately.
Opting against the deep shot this time. They have been working out really well for them, the deep shots. And there you go, deep shot will only connect with Paul Ressel. And another stall out called. And a retracted stall out, but now I'm a bit confused. The disc will go back to Ressel because he got the D.
That is correct. Belgians unable to get from that difficult near sideline corner, poached around by the Austrian defense. One more chance for Austria to take the game.
Christoph Angetta goes to his brother. Low disc, beautifully caught. Looking for an option, finds one, and Angetta up the line. Disc is low and only connects with the Belgians. Bernard with that D. De Vlaming to Anna. And Anna is going to put an inside-out backhand in to the end zone for the score, and that's a break for Belgium.
A magnificent put on that last deep shot. That was a lefty, straight laser shot into the end zone, basically cutting through all the players downfield. It was so quick that nobody had a chance on that. Here's the interception. I believe that was the first one, or second one by Bernard? I think it was the first one. Here is the stall out on Hernat, the other one.
Thomas de Vlaming, a proud dad who likes the very nice spirit in this game, and we can only agree. And there's a very nice put.
Look how that thing straightened out. And for the score, and for Belgium, is Willems.
Willems, maybe connected to the Willems on Gent?
Sure. If you are, he is actually their granddad, Christina.
Oh.
That's what it says in his player survey.
Oh. Interesting.
In any case, so Belgium within 3 now, but they really need 1, 2, 3, 4 more breaks.
It's never over until it's over. I've seen worse things. I've seen actually this exact thing. 14-11 before at the European Ultimate Championships. Not Austria, Germany against Italy, where Italy was down 14-11 and came back on Universe. But of course,
the wind really picking up at field 1. That could completely change the pace of this game.
What a put out by Deutschbayer and caught as well by Hamel. What a game we have here, and Hamel looking for an option, goes back around, and that's the score for Austria to win this game. Coach Nuschinger with a little dance in content.
What a game. I thought Austria was going to get away with this one. And here is some shaky, shaky salsa from the Austrian fans. Pure excitement and happiness for the U20 boys that have just won their tightest matchup. Austria taking the game 15-11 over Belgium.
And I believe the birthday boy caught the last goal as well.
What a way to get big on your birthday. We have more action coming up your way. In the under 20 women's division, we have I think we can call it a quarterfinal, because this Canadian and New Zealand team will be playing for a place in the semis. Of course, the US and France securing their spot yesterday already, and today having a day off. We continue with the 1 o'clock local time under 17 mixed slot. Austria will be taking on Poland. That will be Christina and me once more. And then 3 o'clock, we'll see the quarterfinal in the under 20 open division. We're still yet to decide which one we're going to stream. And we close off at 5 o'clock in the under 17 open division, Italy versus Belgium.
So thank you very much for tuning in. As Rachel just said, there's so much more live action to come today and the next 3 days. Thank you very much for joining us. It's not over yet for live coverage, but this game certainly is over now. Austria taking the win over Belgium. Thank you for tuning in. Don't shy away to see more live action. See you again soon.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches, and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, UltiTV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Right now, he's going to have to bid. Oh, just a football.
Huge layout block. Unbelievable stuff on the front corner of the end zone.
Maybe just that boost of energy they needed.
Huge swing pass and a great grab there from Steer.
Ulti.tv.